Hello again, Guardians, and welcome back to another Destiny content related video. Now in today's video, we're going to take a walk through the Iron Temple really quick. Follow me, and you will end up getting to Lady Efrideet. Now if you didn't know, Lady Efrideet is an Iron Lord. She's actually one of the last surviving Iron Lords next to Lord Saladin, and they're the only two that actually exist. So as Lord Saladin is taking care of the Siva threat, Lady Efrideet stood up and actually took the stand to be the Iron Banner vendor. Now the Iron Banner vendor comes around once a month. Lady Efrideet's right here in this location. What this series of videos is supposed to do is once a month we go over the Iron Banner gear, the inventory, what we should and should not buy, what's perfect for Efrideet, and what's perfect to use in Crucible, because Iron Banner is in relation to Crucible. So what we're going to try to do is build the perfect Crucible Guardian. To do this, we want to try to build a Tier 12 Guardian. Tier 12 Guardians have the max amount of intellect, discipline, and strength that you can possibly have on one Guardian. So, with this being said, you're going to want to have, if you go to Destiny Item Manager, have each piece of gear at maxed 100%, and then you're going to want to have your artifact at the highest percentage possible, which I believe is 118%. If you get 118% artifact, you're right on your way to getting Tier 12. Tier 12 is going to be a trick and a half to get, but thanks to Lady Efrideet, we've got some Tier 12 gear. Now, Tier 12 gear means the max intellect, discipline, and strength that you can get. That means trying to max out intellect and discipline at 300, and then trying to get strength as high up as possible. Now, if you're trying to run a strength build, obviously you'll run intellect at 300, strength at 300, and then you'll run discipline at around 250. To do this, though, to get this actually right and consistent, you're going to actually try to get and pair up armor that's going to give you all those strengths and weaknesses. So first off, Iron Saga Steps, 79 intellect, 79 discipline. As you all know, that is actually a maxed intellect discipline roll on boots. So the Iron Saga Steps right here are actually fairly decent. If we go in, we can view that it's actually got arc doubled down, which actually wouldn't be that bad. Stormcaller Warlock inside of the Crucible is actually fairly good. We've got Capture King, so if you're capturing a control zone in Crucible, like this week's Iron Banner, that's actually fairly good. We've also got increased rocket launcher ammo, which is good for PvP or PvE. And we've also got fusion rifle ammo, which is also good for Crucible. We've got intellect and discipline, as we said before, and this is actually a fairly good set of leg armor. So you might actually want to go and buy this leg armor for your Titan, Warlock, and your Hunter. Next up, we've got the Iron Saga Steps right here. Discipline and strength. As you can see, it's 1 point lower than a Tier 12, so this would be a Tier 11 piece of armor, but it's still not that far off and still worth getting, because if you look at it, it's got the Void Double Down, which a lot of Warlocks are now running Nova Bomb. We've got the shotgun ammo, we've got machine gun ammo, and as we all know, I love running shotgun and machine gun. Then discipline and strength, still not that bad, especially if you want to build a strength build. And then we've got Capture King, which is crucial for Control Zone. Next up, we've got the Iron Saga Vestments, 2 pairs, and there's one that's a Tier 12 pair. This one right here. We're going to get into those momentarily. But the intellect and discipline roll is 84-86. Sadly, the intellect is 2 points lower than what a Tier 12 would be needed for, but this is still very, very close and is probably decent to have. Next up, it's got increased amount of scout rifle ammunition, which scout rifles are fairly good in Crucible. You've also got the increased sniper rifle ammo if you're a sniper. In Constitution with this, you'll also have more No Land Beyond armor, or more No Land Beyond ammo. Then, arc recovery. Increased recovery for 5 seconds after taking arc splash damage. Probably fairly decent for against Stormcallers, maybe even the splash damage against Striker Titans, even their grenades, maybe even the skip grenades from a Hunter. Next up, Arc Armor. Increased armor when using an Arc-based subclass. Very good if you're a Stormcaller. Then, we've also got the Tier 12 build. Discipline and Strength build this time, but it's still going to be good to try to get your strength up at the maximum possible. If you're running an artifact that will bring your intellect up, then you won't actually have to worry about having this piece of Tier 12 gear. If you have this on top of your intellect and discipline being maxed out, it actually might bring it up to having a Tier 12 build. So what do you get from this one? Well, you get increased pulse rifle ammo and shotgun ammo, which in my favor, I like running the pulse rifle and the shotgun the most inside of Crucible. along with a machine gun. So this would actually be fairly good along with the boots that I'd be receiving. Next up, Solar Recovery. Really good for trials. I love running Self-Res Warlock inside of trials along with the Solar Armor. That would be really, really good for me as well. And next up, again, Strength and Discipline. More so, you've got the Silver Dread. Silver Dread is a great machine gun. Really good machine gun, and the rolls on this one aren't that bad, but not perfect. We'll go over the rolls right now, and I'll tell you why I wouldn't want this one. First off, Hayden Blade stock and braced frame. You would actually think that these are really good. Then you'd want speed reload and extended mag, and then counterbalance. Now, the army of one isn't really that important, but counterbalance with extended mag and braced frame seems like a fairly good machine gun, right? Sadly, I'm going to go into my machine gun really quick and show you guys my Silver Dread that I got last Iron Banner. This one is my personal favorite. We've got hand-laid stock, armor-piercing rounds, and rangefinder, allowing me to take out a crowd of people really quickly with the armor-piercing rounds, having rangefinder at that effective range of being able to aim with an increased effective range from a long period of time. Then we've also got that hand-laid stock, increased stability, reduced range. We're reducing my range, but honestly, with the rangefinder and the hand-laid stock, really, really good. We do have reinforced barrel for more range if I really wanted it, but this thing's so stable with the rangefinder and hand-laid stock that I wouldn't recommend another Silver Dread to anybody. This one is perfect and can literally melt through Guardians. So if you guys want this one, definitely have to go farm this week's Iron Banner for this roll. I guarantee you, you will not regret getting this Silver Dread. Now, final thing we want to go over is the Clever Dragon. The roll that Efrideet's selling is actually not that bad, but there are better rolls out there. So if you want a better roll, definitely go into the Iron Banner first, and by the end of the Iron Banner this week, if you don't have the time to get the perfect Clever Dragon that you want, definitely come and buy this one. You won't regret buying this one, but I guarantee you, if you buy this one too early and you get a better one, you'll definitely regret buying this one. So it's kind of a double-edged sword here. Don't buy it too early, but if you don't get the one that you want, definitely buy it. So this one is going to have perfect balance, snapshot, and counterbalance. Fairly good rolls, but there are better ones out there. There is one that you can remove snapshot for high caliber rounds, which would help stagger enemies and do a considerable amount of more ability inside of the Crucible than snapshot. I mean, if you're on top of a target and you just aim your sights, you don't really need snapshot if you're ready. If you're prepared and you have a fast reaction time, snapshot's not that important. Replace this with high caliber rounds, and you'd actually have a really good pulse rifle. Next up though, I would like to replace counterbalance with rangefinder. So try to get a perfect balance, high caliber rounds, and rangefinder perk on your Clever Dragon, and that is actually probably going to be the best Clever Dragon inside of the PvP. So make sure that you farm for your Clever Dragons this week, and then if you don't get a Clever Dragon you like, make sure to buy this one from Efrideet. And there you have it, Guardians. That's all the information for this video. Make sure to clear out all of your bounties available by Efrideet and get the legendary weapons and armor that she'll give you from that. And also, remember the tier 12 gear that Lady Efrideet is selling, and that pretty good rolled Clever Dragon. Fairly decent all around. This week's Iron Banner is actually going to have some pretty nice rewards, so get out there, start killing your fellow Guardians, enjoy, have some fun, and I'll see you Guardians Starside in the next video.